हेलो एंड अ वेरी वार्म वेलकम टू सीक्रेट्स ऑफ स्टोरी टेलर्स। मैंने अपना करियर 2012 में स्टार्ट किया था और फर्स्ट जॉब के लिए मुझे बैंगलोर जाना था। तो फर्स्ट जॉब के लिए एकदम एक्साइटेड था, फुल ऑफ एनर्जी लाइक एवरीवन इज। एंड नई सिटी का एक्साइटमेंट भी था बिकॉज आई वाज गोइंग टू बैंगलोर फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम। और मैंने भी कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ी, अपना 100% दिया। एंड पहला हफ्ता कैसे निकल गया पता भी नहीं चला, एज इफ मैंने आग झपकाई और हफ्ता ख़त्म। बट वीकेंड की भी उतनी एक्साइटमेंट थी क्योंकि काफ़ी बढ़िया बढ़िया प्लान्स बनाए थे सिटी एक्सप्लोर करने के। लेकिन ऐसा हुआ नहीं क्योंकि एक कपड़ों का बड़ा सा ढेर लगा था रूम के साइड में जिनको धोना था। एंड आई टेकन अ पीजी बैक देन, तो उसमें वॉशिंग मशीन नहीं हुआ करती थी तब। तो आई स्टार्टेड घिसोफाइंग द क्लोथ्स। शर्ट के कॉलर साफ़ कर रहा था जो पहले मम्मी धोकर साफ़ करके आयरन करके कब रख देती थी पता भी नहीं चलता था। बट ऐसी बहुत सी और चीज़ें भी थी जो अब खुद मैनेज करनी थी। और आई थिंक इन सभी चीज़ों में से कपड़े धोना मुझे सबसे कम पसंद था और सबसे ज़्यादा आलस मेरे को इसी चीज़ में आता था। और इस लेवल का आलस आता था कि मैं क्या बताऊँ। मतलब कभी कभार सैटरडे मॉर्निंग को कपड़े भिगो देता था कि धोऊंगा और संडे शाम को जाके कपड़े धोता था। खैर, ये सब मैं आपको क्यों बता रहा हूँ, क्योंकि कुछ लोग हैं जिन्होंने इस दर्द को समझा और लॉन्ड्री और ड्राई क्लीनिंग सर्विसेज स्टार्ट करी। एंड UClean इज़ वन ऑफ दोज कंपनीज. We're talking with Miss Gunjan Taneja, who's the co-founder of UClean, and we're going to understand how her journey has been. I think UClean India is one of the leading laundry services and home cleaning company in India. They literally make money from daag achhe hain, and they love cleaning. Be it your clothes, your home, your car, and a lot more. Gunjan Taneja and Arunabh Sinha started UClean in 2016, and they were seed funded to take their venture to the next level. So in the discussion today, we'll understand कि क्या challenges थे, how did they overcome those challenges in the years, how is the life of an entrepreneur, जितना हमें दिखता है उसके beyond क्या है, right? So let's welcome Gunjan. Hi Gunjan, welcome to Secrets of Storytellers.
Hi Shubham, thank you for having me, and it is a great morning today that we have connected.
Thank you so much for doing this on a Sunday morning. I'm sure you're packed with work, but doing this on a Sunday morning is tells a lot about you. Thank you so much.
The weather helps.
Yeah, I know. The weather helps, yes, finally. So, Gunjan, UClean start करने के पीछे, what was the thought behind it? We want to understand that because धोबी घाट इंडिया में कब से है, तो मैं ऐसा नहीं बोलूँगा कि laundry services were a great new idea, for India. But doing it at this scale, with the technology, with all the right equipment, it's a very different ball game, I think. So, वो एक different.
So I think it was kind of serendipity for us. I was coming at it from a very different perspective, and Arunabh was having a different experience elsewhere. So I'll tell you. So I got married in 2015. So both of us, I moved to my new house. So now my mom is very particular when it comes to my clothes and cleaning and everything. And all my unmarried life, I had never had to clean one single piece of clothing. I hate doing laundry. I hate doing laundry. मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा आफत आती है. So then everything was okay. I cook really well. I love cooking. Every week, she used to just ruin one of the other shirts or some pants, and I used to really be upset. My whole week, my whole day used to get spoiled because of that. And I'm very particular about my clothes. If my clothes have a little stain, I would just not wear it until unless it's properly gone and it is perfect looking again. So all of that I was struggling with in my new marriage. A couple of months down the line, I was like, Arunabh, there has to be a way. There has to be a way somebody does it professionally and wash it, fold it, or iron it, pack it properly, and deliver it to you or give it to you.
Yeah.
Then in his role as in Trebo as the North India head and North India CEO, he realized that a lot of his complaints in the in the budget hotel area came from bad laundry.
Yeah.
The sheets were not that clean, the towels were not that clean. So he realized that laundry is just not a problem at the house, but it is also a problem in work as well, in his line of work. So that's where we both realized that this is a major problem that needs fixing. But now, how do you fix this? And that's what I said, that serendipity happened. We went on a honeymoon to Japan. We traveled a lot of Southeast Asia. We went to Kuala Lumpur. We went to Indonesia. We went to a lot of these Southeast Asian cities and experienced the entire laundromat culture. How they do it.
So the research was quite deep.
Yeah. So Indonesia was quite a revelation for us that that country had like laundromats, and even Thailand, like small laundromats in every neighborhood. Nobody is doing their laundry themselves, and we felt that okay, this is possible in India. So that's where both of us were very convinced with the idea. We saw models working because Southeast Asia also behaves very similarly in terms of culture, in terms of their markets, how India behaves. So we thought that yes, this is interesting, and then
But इसके दो challenges हैं गुंजन. मतलब the idea sounds very interesting and obviously convenience है. अगर मेरे को अपने कपड़े खुद ना धोने पड़े, कुछ ना करना पड़े, सब कुछ होकर आए तो nothing like it. I would love it. अगर सब कुछ धो के प्रेस होके बिल्कुल फाइन एकदम प्रीमियम तरीके से आ रहा है तो. बट इसके दो एस्पेक्ट्स हैं. वन इज़ कि मेरे को उसके लिए क्या प्राइस पे करना है, एंड सेकेंड इज़ कि आपको प्रॉफिट भी कमाना है, राइट. नाउ एंड इट हैज़ टू वर्क फॉर बोथ ऑफ अस, राइट. मेरे को महंगा नहीं लगना चाहिए, नहीं तो मैं ड्राई क्लीन करा रहा होता, मेरे को महंगा नहीं लग रहा होता, राइट. एंड आपके लिए प्रॉफिट होना चाहिए बिकॉज इट्स वेरी वेरी थिन मार्जिन. क्या ही पैसा उसमें बचेगा. सो हाउ डिड यू मैनेज बोथ दोज एस्पेक्ट्स? हाउ डिड यू लुक एट दोज थिंग्स?
So if you look at it, so we were also concerned about that because I am a very cost conscious person myself. Growing up in a middle class family, I'm very cost conscious. If this is something that I find expensive, I will definitely not use it. It doesn't matter how much money today I have in my bank. It doesn't really matter. If I seek value in everything, and that's exactly how we looked at it, and that's the reason our main focus. And if you look at it, we still say we are India's largest laundry chain. Because we thought it has to be laundry. Because dry cleaning, everyone is giving. There's a lot of, dry cleaning is a generational business. People are doing it for years and there are dry cleaners every nook and corner. It is laundry that needs to be disrupted. Because people need laundry by kilo at a good price where, which feels right for them. And that's when we went back to our whiteboards and we kind of did all the calculations. And you know what? If you look at it, this actually comes out cheaper than what you do it at home. And we have a whole calculation of it. It is easy. You just pick up your clothes and you give it to us, and then you get the ready stack and put it in your almirah. That's it. It's as easy.
Yeah, no, I think so. It's also a mindset shift. I think क्योंकि हैबिचुएशन ही नहीं है हमारा. इंडिया में हमने कभी लॉन्ड्री देखा ही नहीं है. सो एक क्लियर माइंडसेट आता है कि यार अगर मैं लॉन्ड्री दे रहा हूँ तो मे बी इट्स अ लग्जरी, एंड इट्स नॉट चीप, इट्स गोइंग टू बी एक्सपेंसिव. बट आई थिंक अगर वो कैलकुलेशन करके देखेंगे तो समझ आएगा.
Yeah, and exactly that's what we keep, training our teams at the stores, and we keep whoever customer I'm also personally talking to, I explain to them. And it is just not about price, okay, Shubham. It is also about the quality. There's a huge difference in the quality of professionally done laundry versus what you do at home. You buy 2 t-shirts from the same brand, same color. Give one to me, I do 10 washes. You take 10 washes, do it in your regular detergent. And I can show you the difference.
Oh wow, okay.
Right?
There's a lot of process that goes behind every cloth that's being. Yeah. But I think ये जो process है वो बहुत ही elaborate है, और clearly ये समझ आ रहा है कि आपने एक aspect को बहुत ध्यान दिया है to ensure कि quality best हो, right? But there must be a lot of misconceptions with customers, कि मैं अगर laundry दे रहा हूँ तो मेरे को सबसे पहले डर क्या लगेगा कि यार कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं कि मेरे कपड़े किसी और के कपड़ों के साथ धुल रहे हैं. All those things, very very simple minute things. मेरे को एक्चुअली नहीं समझ आएगा कि एंटी बैक्टीरियल टैंक में मेरे कपड़े जा रहे हैं तो उससे क्या फ़र्क पड़ेगा ऑनेस्टली. बट मेरे को इससे ज़्यादा फ़र्क पड़ेगा कि मेरे कपड़े अपने आप धुल रहे हैं या मेरे अकेले धुल रहे हैं नहीं धुल रहे हैं. हाउ आर यू मैनेजिंग, टारगेटिंग, आंसरिंग ऑल दोज क्वेश्चंस ऑफ कस्टमर्स?
Yeah. So for example, mixing of clothes, very valid concern a lot of our customers have. So I tell you, see, there is a operational, optimization we need to do as well, right? So we do separate clothes. If you are giving us a load which is to be run in one, cycle, we never do it.
Okay, perfect, wonderful. So Gunjan, I think ये आपके business की बात हुई, and very interesting how you have targeted, answered everything. But let's talk about a bit about starting of UClean. कि आपको आइडिया अच्छा लगा, आपको समझ आ गया कि हाँ ये आइडिया काम करेगा, एंड इट साउंड्स वेरी वंडरफुल, एंड I think you said कि आपकी शादी 2015 में हुई थी and 2016 में is when you started this. So it was just 1 year of marriage. So who took the plunge first? Did you start like कि job छोड़ो, खत्म करो, side करो और start करो UClean, or how was that entire journey?
My first thought to myself was abhi nahi to kabhi nahi. Like, because we're married, we are 1 year into our marriage. Okay, if we don't do it now, we can still,
The responsibilities are only going to increase. It'll only become
and also, we don't have kids right now. We don't have that kind of liabilities, right? So we can postpone having a family if we want to do this, right? And if we don't do it right now, once we have a family, I think we are all too tied up. We have our obligations, and we don't want to. It's the child that is involved, and then you're always thinking from a child's perspective. So we thought that my first thought was this. Okay, now then we sat down and worked out how. Okay, so how was like I want to continue working. I was actually moonlighting on UClean for a year before I officially joined UClean and started getting paid from UClean. So I said, okay, let's do this. I will continue to work, and you can continue bringing. Yeah. So somebody is bringing, the money home. But
Yeah.
God has been super kind, Shivam. We were able to raise the necessary funds, and we were able to get the money that we needed, like in the first 4-5 months, I think, second quarter.
Right.
So I think from there on, it has always been like, we've been fine after that. And so yeah, I think a lot of people would, and honestly, thinking about laundry, and the connotation dhobi attached to it. So my
Yeah.
parents, my in-laws, everybody had those concerns and everything. I think I was very unperturbed. Somewhere, I don't know, I was very confident that, because I loved the idea. Like I said, I was struggling myself. So idea pe we were both sold out, right?
Yeah.
And I felt that, yeah, it was the right time. It never felt like, okay, we are very scared or something. In fact, we were both very excited about it. That let's do it. नहीं होगा तो क्या होगा?
Right. कोई 6 साल, I think how you started is very exciting and interesting. But 6 साल हो गए आपको. कभी कोई ऐसा point आया जहाँ पे आपने सोचा कि यार that's it, let's close it down. I mean, did you come to that breaking point, or what was your bottommost point, if ever there was one?
Okay, I don't want to sound unrealistic here. And for all the people who are listening to us, it is important for them to know why. So, first, to answer your question, no. I never had that thought that I want to, it's done, or I don't want to do it in future. I'll tell you why, actually. Why is important here. Because, when you're building a company, or you are, doing business, I think a very strong financial discipline is extremely important. So when we started this company and we raised the initial funding to get off the ground, first we have never raised funding which was not required, and which we could not justify or something like it has mostly
Very, very important point. We'll come back to this.
Yeah, so it has been angel investors, but whatever money we made, we were profitable. We've been a profitable company since. We were making money, and we were very careful in how we spent that money.
Right. So from there, when you were married and you just started your married life, you started setting up your own place, and you started UClean as well. So it must have been a very hard journey. But today you are a mom, I think, mom of one beautiful daughter that you have, and उसके साथ business manage करना, उसको to raise the daughter, obviously किसी बच्चे के शुरू के साल सबसे ज़्यादा important है उसके लिए. So how has that been? Has that been challenging, या उसको आपने कैसे balance करा है कि आपने काम को भी देख रहे हो, आप घर को भी देख रहे हो, अपनी बेटी को भी देख रहे हो? How have you balanced that?
So I'll tell you, first of all, every single mother in India is doing their 200% to get that balance. And I'll tell you a secret, we are not able to balance. There is no balancing really. It's like taking from one and giving to other most of the times, right? So it is like that. So either we are feeling guilty at work or we are feeling guilty at home or something like that. But that's how, you know, you have to. That's how it is. Like there's no other way. And I think working women, especially people like me, they don't find joy anyway else. Matlab, we have to have both the things. We want the house, we want the work as well. First year, I mean, unfortunately, Sanvi, I had to go through a lot with Sanvi because she's a premature baby. She was 2 months of her life. She was in a hospital. Then uh, we were confined in the house for about another, 8 months because she was recovering. All of that happened. But like I said, Shubham, I could manage all of that because I had my own company. So I could work my own timings. I obviously took my maternity break also. It doesn't mean that I didn't take the maternity break. I had to because of her condition. So that also happened. But after my maternity break, I think there was a lot of support from all the places. Like because your team also knows that you're going through this, your family knows you're going through this. So everybody came together to help me out. But yes, a kid needs a mother. So that kind of overstretching happens. A mother is always exhausted. That happens with me a lot of times. I think COVID that way was a little bit of a blessing in disguise for us because we got a lot of time. Her elementary important years, I could focus on her, and I was because of COVID there was minimum amount of work, so I could just focus. I think kids, we don't give enough credit to kids. Kids are actually very intelligent. They are like as intelligent as you and I are, right? It is just that
probably more, I would say.
Yeah, exactly, probably more. So if you explain to her, and with my kid it has been, and if I explain to her what her mother is doing, why is she doing it, and it makes her happy, she's a better person this way. I think she kind of understands that, and we have a very very healthy vibe between both of us. So by the way, she doesn't call me mama or mama, mother, whatever. I mean, mummy. She doesn't call me. She addresses me as Guni.
Oh, okay. That's sweet. That's very sweet.
So that's the vibe. I don't know. I mean, it's more like friends, more like partners. We fight a lot. We love each other a lot. It's very like that.
So, shifting the focus, the discussion to something that you said, earlier, funding. You never took funding which was not required. What did you mean by that? Are there startups taking funding left, right, and center, or what are you implying, and what did you mean by that?
Okay, I don't want to imply anything. There's no right and wrong here. I don't want to make a comment on anybody else's
way of doing business.
Way of doing their business, yeah. So I'll just talk personally about us. So we only picked angel investments initially because we wanted to get off the ground. It was like it wasn't like, Arunabh alone could have built the business, and we needed people to build the business. We needed the laundry knowledge, so we needed people from the industry. So to pay their salaries, etc., we did raise initial angel funding and one round of again angel funding, but that was more like a growth round.
Okay.
Like we needed a little bit of a growth push that was required. But then we stopped there. Okay. Because after the first angel round itself, we kind of realized it's a very self-sustainable model. But we never felt that okay, to like kill the competition, let us, get the funding and start doing that. That was never required.
Before we close the discussion, I have just one last question, and that's a common question across all my episodes. So, the show is called Secrets of Storytellers. So, as a practice, I ask each one of my guests that one secret that you've probably not shared a lot about, in the open. So, what would that secret be about UClean?
It is not that you don't fail. It is just that people don't get to see how badly you fail. So I tell you, our first store, our first ever store, we launched in Vasant Kunj, C8 Market. We were very happy because we finally got the funding and we finally got a franchise investor for the store. We created the store, very happy about it. It was number one shop right at the entry of the market. Good location, great. I think 1 month or something into the store, the entire store burned to ashes. Yes.
Okay.
It was such a, yeah, it was exactly 1 month. I remember it was February, it was slightly cold. In the night, we both are, sleeping, and the store launched in January 2017. February 2017, we get a call middle of the night from the restaurant next. So there was a restaurant next door, okay? So one of our teammates actually was processing towels from a spa.
Okay.
So the towels had a lot of soaked in oils in them. He had put it in the dryer just to store them, but there was already dryer was hot and there was dryer heat. And because of that, there was this one silly thing, it was not even like,
Yeah.
you would not have thought about it. We didn't know, we were so new in the business, we didn't know. So the entire store caught fire because it started from the dryer and kind of, yeah. So, and has been a learning, obviously, because it was an expensive learning, but it was an early on learning, okay? We were so disheartened. Me, Arunabh, two of our, team members, we were there in front of the store, seeing our store completely black with,
Oh shit.
burned down and with ashes. And we're like, what do we do now? Like, we hardly got money to build this first store. And where do we get the money to build another store? And we were so disheartened, so down in the dumps. And then I don't know, there was some kind of, energy or some kind of strength that, okay, you don't have to give up so easily, okay? And imagine first month into the business.
I know. पहले महीने में ऐसा हो जाए तो you're very disheartened कि यार start ही ऐसा हुआ है.
Start ही ऐसा हुआ है. पता नहीं it is meant to be or not. Or maybe it's a sign from the universe.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of things you keep thinking. And then we just thought that, okay, let's move on. आगे देखते क्या होता है. Let's try. So then we kind of requested. So I'll tell you what happened, okay? He called, he messaged, he mailed, he did everything possible because the most expensive part of the store is the machines.
Yeah, obviously.
Right? So the machines were gone. How do you process clothes, right? And it is very expensive to replace those machines. So he called up Alliance Laundromat, he called up the distributor, etc. Requested, asked them to give us like a staggered payment or something. Just give us the machine so that we can run the business, okay? And he was relentless. Arunabh was relentless. I think people gave him because he was so relentless. And he was so,
Focused कि यार करना ही करना है.
Confident, and he believed in the concept. He believed in the idea so much that he kind of just convinced the stakeholders to give him the machine and take the payment a little later as we start earning from the store. Now, today, Alliance Laundromats, whose machines we take, right? They tell us, UClean is the reason that we have such a huge retail business in India.
Wow.
It was only because UClean. And if back then, on that day in February 2017, if we had not trusted you with a machine, I don't know what would have happened. And I shudder to think about it. I don't want to think about it कि क्या होता उस टाइम पे अगर मैंने February 2017 में आपको मशीन के साथ ट्रस्ट नहीं किया होता, एक मशीन आपको आउट ऑफ ट्रस्ट नहीं दी. He gave us only one machine. We burned 2 machines. He gave us only one machine. To keep running. I think it was just like daya aa gayi, ya bura laga itna zyada, or he was just embarrassed because Arunabh was so relentless. But then he did that, and I'm so grateful he did that.
I mean, वो भी grateful होगा कि यार मैंने ये किया because उसका business उसकी वजह से आज इतना बड़ा है. That partnership जो आपने इतने साल से चलाया है, that's the reason कि वो इतना बड़ा बन गया है आज.
Exactly. Even the distributor of theirs, he says that we are the reason people know him in the market today because it's such a big retail vertical that we have built for them. So yeah, I think
that's a lovely story too.
It's an embarrassing story. It is a story that but all the entrepreneurs need to know this, that it is very glorious on the outside. You don't always publicize your failures, but all of us go through them. All of us have glorious failures.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Gunjan. I mean, I think that was a great story to know because, क्या हुआ, कैसे बचाया, ये सब नहीं पता लगता है सामने किसी को. And I'm sure कि ऐसे बहुत सारे और instances over the years होते रहे होंगे जो आपने that you guys have overcome. So great. Thank you for sharing all of that. And I'm sure the listeners would love it as well.
Thank you so much, Shubham. Thank you for having me. It was wonderful connecting with you. It was such a nice conversation, and I hope the audiences like what we discussed today. I hope at least one entrepreneur who's feeling down should feel a little happy listening to this. Should be motivated. Like it'll be all right.
Lovely. I'm sure, and not just entrepreneurs, but people generally would get a lot of motivation from this. So for all the listeners, we'll keep bringing more discussions like these. So like, comment, share, and keep following the channel. Thank you, Gunjan, once again.
Thank you.